we're going to Italy.
No, keep going.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
And we're live.
Keep going with the
Ciao, Bella.
Hello, Sturdy.
No,
hello, James.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello, how's it going, everybody?
Got a few of
Hi,
us
Sturdy.
here.
Hi,
We got
James.
Aaron and
Hi,
Slinky
Trevor.
here. Welcome. We got Trevor here, our foreign correspondent, of course. Myself and James. But no, I want to continue on with this conversation. It was a good conversation. What were you about to say, Slinky?
Nobody makes movies like the Italians. Nobody.
But I'm starting
Let's
to
see.
really get into the Spanish. So,
Well,
Oh, like
Spanish
Tombs of the
Giallo is
Blind,
interesting,
like
but-
Tombs of the
Blind
Blind
Dead,
Dead.
Sleeping Corpses
yeah,
Lie.
I think we forgot.
We're so scattered. Like,
this
there's
is
nowhere
gonna
to
be a
go.
nerd off
Yeah,
here.
man.
Oh, God.
It's really funny. It's good.
Who's gonna know more?
So who? Okay,
How
What-
there?
what-
I'm but-
was this a first time watch
Yes.
for anyone
me,
in
yes.
the group?
Yes, that's.
This is
Oh,
my
sure.
second time. Second
This is
time
my
for
first
me.
time
Okay,
seeing
James,
it.
this
Okay.
is your second.
Mhm.
Sturdy, this was a first time watch for you.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's something I've been meaning to watch, probably through Slinky with the Giallo films. Anytime I have these damn films where they come
He
up,
always messages
somehow-
He's like,
not,
"Dude,
not
it's
even
Italian."
that. Not even that. It's not even that. It's like a magnet to him. Like this dude will just come out the woodwork. Like, say if we've known each other for 50 years, haven't talked for 49 of them. Giallo, here comes Slinky. No,
I can sniff
I
him
love
out,
it.
man. I can sniff him out.
I love
Like,
it.
you
So
know.
that, like, he really loves these freaking films. And one thing I could say about this before we even dive into it is I love what they did with the lighting, and I noticed that they do that a lot with these films. The lighting with a different color lighting, a lot of blues and a lot of reds.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I was
Mhm.
paying close attention to it. I'm like, okay, so they're doing the blues with these scenes more so, and doing the reds with these scenes more so. So it kind of makes there's kind of a theme to it.
Yes.
And I
The color
really
is
enjoyed
a character itself in Giallo cinema. It's
Exactly.
literally,
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
Bob is
you're
moved to-
looking right away at the fact that it is a genre named after a color. The
Exactly.
Giallo, the Gialli is, of course, from the
Mondadori
paperback
paperback
novels.
book.
Yeah, that were yellow.
Mhm.
And they were from Agatha Christie,
Conan Doyle. Yep.
all kinds of. And Doyle, I think even Hammett had a few that came out as Giallo.
They even
Is
printed
so
some of
malleable
Block's novels.
because it's as much hard and pulp as it is Agatha Christie.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's a fun thing. But Suspiria actually lives quite away from that. So
Thank you. Yes.
Tell
Okay.
him the joke that we were gonna do.
Oh, so we
on
were
Jello
we
shots.
were gonna do this thing because I started a sister podcast to my podcast called Jello
Ooh.
Shots, and it hasn't aired yet. We're going October. My show's been around for a couple of years.
She's
and-
good.
I'm
And
checking this stuff out when I get out.
Dude, yeah. She's
You will,
she's
you will.
a real deal. Real deal.
And one of the things we were gonna do is on every episode we were gonna be like, and reason number 156 was Suspiria is not a Giallo movie.
Yeah, it's going to be a running joke every episode.
It is a
so.
supernatural Italian
Yes.
horror
Mhm.
film, but it does not meet the
Mhm.
Giallo requirements that most people.
This is the thing. Giallo requirements, honestly, are really loose. And the thing
Yeah,
is, Suspiria is such a special film. And, I want to talk at some point about the gestation of the film. And, it's really, really cool, but it is such a skew. I think it's even more of a skew than Argento did this wonderful film called 5 Days in Milan that is a comedy, and it's a political comedy. But even though everybody says, oh, that's the one that sticks out in his au revoir, it's Suspiria. Suspiria is the total change. So
Most people I talk to about Argento, that's probably the first film I ever tell them to look at from him. And that's with me deeply loving Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Four Flies on Gray Velvet. But like, you're absolutely right on that. That film is like miles apart from his standard stuff, but it's so good that I have never told anybody to watch any other film of his first. like getting into Italian cinema.
And the scenery is its own character. Absolutely. I mean, just in Suspiria alone, you have like
the
that
Black Forest
pool
in itself is a character.
And the forest and the and the sort of like labyrinth level of dance studio, which is very similar to in Inferno. It's the labyrinth of whatever the fuck that is, condo complex. I don't know.
And it seems to go on forever, and they shoot it in such a way where it's like morbidly beautiful, and you're like almost enchanted or enticed to like enter. It's weird. Like just again the locations and everything. What you guys just said. So yeah.
Well, before I forget, Slinky, I want to say I love the fact that you recommend Suspiria. If you want to really understand Dario Argento, and also the fall of Dario Argento, in my opinion, because the majority of his films and the majority of his best films are by no question gialli. And sometimes people just kind of to just call him a gialli director is an amazing disservice.
No, exactly.
Yeah, Suspiria.
I have corrected.
Suspiria is a great one to start
on that topic. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. He's not fucking Joe D'Amato.
Hey, I love me some Joe D'Amato.
We love. Trust me. Oh yeah. We are all about the sleaze.
Yes. Give me Revenge of the Living Dead girls all day, man.
No,
it's not Joe D'Amato.
Such a good film.
And give me Strip Nude for Your Killer.
Yeah,
and we're fine.
Yes,
but no, we're both.
Give me Cannibal Holocaust any day of the week, anytime, while eating anything, and I'm happy.
See,
we talked about that this morning. That's funny.
We're like, oh, that's a one and done.
That's a one and done.
That movie is crazy.
So Sturdy, what did you think of this? Like, what did you?
I've been asking her for all day since last night. I'm like, I wonder what he thinks.
Like, no, seriously, like, what was your? Because some people, I've introduced this movie to I've introduced other horror fans to this, and they have said, "Oh, it's kind of confusing and slow moving, and I don't really get it, and whatever." And so I'm very like, oh, I don't know, when I try to introduce someone to an Italian horror film, I'm like, well.
Yeah, it's
they're visually stunning. It is a Technicolor nightmare.
The visuals are awesome. I was actually because I was watching with the wife earlier, so I mentioned that with the wife. I was like, I love what they're doing with the lighting, which I was saying to you guys earlier. But as far as the film overall, I had a pretty good time with it. It took some time to pick up. But like when things were going on, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you a part that I just started fucking laughing my ass off at really quick is when the chick. She's like running and she gets away. She climbs through the window.
Oh yeah.
On the barbed wire.
It's like to climb to basically fashion stairs out of these things and then get up to this level and you're like, I'm free, and you're like right into the razor wire. Your life is over.
Yeah.
Didn't I mention that to you?
Why the fuck is razor wire there?
Yeah. I don't know. But it was funny. Like what made me laugh the most about it is like when she first falls on it, right? Like, oh shit, she falls on some barbed wire or whatever, and she just like gets up. And the way she just keeps falling like this.
Yeah, she keeps around like. Oh.
If you want a really far-fetched explanation to that, and I don't like it because it's the only really obvious. Well, they're all obvious, but it's very important that Argento set this film in Germany. This is a film that is one of his first true collaborations with his wife, Daria Nicolodi. Exactly how much she did is a bone of contention.
Always.
But honestly, she is the catalyst for this. Another thing is this film is very important to understand that it asks you several hundred questions and maybe answers one. 3 if you're lucky. The barbed wire, I took that as part. There's a lot of references to Nazi Germany, and there's a lot of references to actual places of artists that were exiled or killed by the Nazis. The Black Forest in itself has a horrible history. So it seems kind of a lame way of explaining it, but it does go to a continual reference in Suspiria about the war.
Wow. Yeah, you do know your shit,
Yeah,
man.
That's why he's our core correspondent.
This right here is why this is Uncle T, the four correspondents of Horror with Sir Sturdy. He's Uncle T out of respect because he also gives us some great stories. So we get story time with him too, and then you get all this awesome information about film that we all enjoy as horror fans. You're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, if he was our history teacher, we would all be A students because he'd just throw it into horror. Like, listen, so in this, and then you just boom, throw it into horror. Oh shit, that's why, guys.
It's called neurodivergence at 48. So.
Yeah, neurodivergence at 44.
Awesome.
Oh my
It's called awesome information that we all love because it makes us happy.
Yeah, dude. I'm a sucker for walking encyclopedias of info as this is the thing. So and I am that way too. Like I can't retain other information, but you know, it's like ask me who wrote this, who sang this, whatever. And it's funny. It's just the way my brain works. Yeah.
We are wired in a way that you tickle our brain,
and it's just
everything else is natural.
Yeah, very much so. Now, James, what did you? This is the second time watch for you. What did you think? I'm sorry, I'm like playing host right now, dude. I'm so sorry. I just realized I am acting like a podcaster.
Because I know what's gonna happen is Trevor and Slinky are gonna have a Italian off at some point that I can't wait for.
I think it's going to be a threesome at least on that.
That's what I said. I'm just sitting here listening. Yeah, but no, it's all good. It's all good. But this is my second time. The first time, the reason I watched this because I off Amazon I bought that 100 movies you need to watch.
Oh, yes.
Scratch it off.
I got that. Same
so this was on there. So I was like, okay, let me watch it. I watched it, scratched it off. So I'm not really familiar with Italian films. I'm going to be honest. I don't know exactly how many I have seen. So I'm not familiar with the style. So I was watching this for the first time. I was a little confused. This is the second time now. The visuals are good. And I was like, wait a minute. This is, was it 1977? What was the year?
77.
I was like, so I'm like, this is 77. I'm like, what they're doing with the colors and the visuals here. I didn't look. There's no way I got what the hell you guys were talking about, the Nazis, Germany, and all that. I didn't get that shit. I'm not that smart, people.
To me.
I'm not that smart.
Like totally news to me. So I'm like,
you just made my brain go because I would have never thought of that.
Nope.
But it was a good. There is parts you're like, why is there a coven in this school? Why are they killing their students off for no reason, especially just now? Wouldn't this place be shut down by now with all these missing girls? Why just right now? So like you start thinking of that in the beginning, like the first time I seen it. But then I'm just watching, I'm like, I'm just going with it. I'm like, it's a fucking powerful witch coven fucking thing.
Yeah. I think that's what you have to do with Italian horror is I think you just have to like we recently myself and my podcasting partner did Inferno and she has never seen any Italian horror. So I was like, I think you'll like it. And she watched it and she's like, this is bananas. She's like, I can't explain any of it. She's like, but I fucking love it. And we had a blast. It was one of our highest rated episodes. So, you know, I think it is just a very much like, just let it happen. You know what I mean? Like Torso is one of those ones where you're just like, what?
Torso was a fun one. Torso was a really fun one. But I am with you on that.
That's a proto slasher too. And that's why a lot of people love it because it has a lot of the elements that eventually went into the vernacular of the slasher.
That's true. And
because
we review that, Aaron?
Because giallo and certain Italian Filoni subgenres are so elastic, they are in several genres.
I think I reviewed it before you started coming on here, James. But I know I reviewed that.
That sounds familiar.
Ago. Torso. But
Torso, what I was going to say is with you came on our show and did Torso.
I did it on your show too?
Yeah, you did Torso on our show. Yeah. Well, we did it on your show, but you never aired it.
I did.
Did you?
It came out later. Yeah. That was one of That was one of the
You
ones
gotta
I believe
see it,
was.
man.
Or no. Wait.
You never aired it. We did Black Christmas. You aired that.
I may have that may have been the ones that I had to redo because I lost a lot of episodes.
I lost
when
everything.
my hard drive got fucked up. I lost like whatever was on because that's when I was pre-recording, and after that I was like, "Fuck this, I'm going live," because this shit.
It was when we did the 5-hour horror con thing, and
I remember that
you came on like a week before we did that. We did Torso, but
I remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, when Torso came out in '73, it was on a double bill at Texas Chainsaw, and I can't even imagine going to 42nd Street and seeing that double bill. Like that would have, I would have came out like just afflicted. And my poor little gray matter. But I don't even know how. Suspiria. What was it we were talking about?
Torso.
Suspiria.
Italian horror.
Oh, Italian horror. Big influence.
German influences
on slasher stuff. Even, and I'm not going to say this right, but the German cremies, however you say them. They had a lot of influence too.
Creamies.
The creamies.
Cremies.
Creme fraiche.
Kremlins.
It doesn't make a difference, but it's creamy.
There you go. So. But
this is my Lord and Savior.
That's
Mr.
Fulci.
You do love zombies.
I love that movie. I told everybody.
I love everything, even the stuff that was at the end of his TV-ish career.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it all.
Quack quack.
Hey, okay, so sorry. This is a total out of control, so I apologize. But
no, you're good.
With that, okay, so he just made a reference to this wonderful, over-the-top sleaze fest that is a giallo called New York Ripper.
Ripper. Yes.
There is a band called Fulci. They're a death metal band. They have 3 albums, and today or yesterday, well, it's supposed to be the 24th, but it leaked on YouTube. Their new album, which is all about New York Ripper, just landed.
Oh, wow.
So is it just like the
totally
features such hits as Coke bottle in the vagina?
Coke bottle in the vagina?
Is that it? Is that a thing?
The Carlatos kiss.
Because if you haven't
metal
seen,
album, I mean, Coke bottle in the vagina is underwhelming.
That's a song
as
in
a
the movie?
title for death metal.
No, that's in the movie, sir.
No. That is in the movie.
But yeah, I haven't heard it all yet to see.
There's a lot of Italian flicks you got to see, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is a very
so.
sleazy movie. But it also
so funny.
has its charm to it to a certain degree. And but I also love the fact that the killer that's in that is featured in New York Ripper shows up in Blade in the Dark also. Because I had seen him and I was like, whoa, who let Topher Grace in here?
Who let Topher Grace in here? So yeah.
Nice. I guess I gotta watch some more. I guess we gotta get into some more Italian horror, James, because like you, I'm not very familiar.
That's why I say
to give you a list.
Yeah, I can give you a list. I'm sure. Yeah, we can all.
I'm sure we could all give everybody. You know what I mean? Like just here, watch.
Yeah, you'll give us a list. Trevor gives us one.
Come on
with
over
all the
and
weird
start
ones.
picking things out for us to watch, and that'd be great. So,
that's another thing you gotta learn. Know about Trevor too. Trevor, it's not normal stuff he finds. It's this weird, out of the fucking world shit that you never heard of.
And we ask for it. I'm just like,
we ask for it. It's crazy.
Okay, so $1 million question, because this is one of my favorite movies ever. Have you seen the movie Night Killer?
Night Killer.
It is
not to be confused with Night Stalker.
No,
right.
Nope.
Right.
Night Killer.
Night Killer. It is directed by both Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fragasso.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy.
It's not the one with the guy with the plastic mask.
It's Hell of the Living Dead on acid with no zombies. Like
it's
I can't even describe it.
I can't even.
I mean, that mixture. I mean, Fragasso is just. Yeah,
in Virginia Beach.
Oh yeah, shot it right. Shot in Virginia Beach. starring a couple that hated each other because well, for obvious reasons, but like just the fact that like when you watch the movie you're just like, ooh, you know.
What was it called again?
Night Killer. It's on
Night
Tubi.
Killer.
It's
Okay.
always on Tubi because it's
I'm
Tubi.
wondering
these movies are always on Tubi.
Might know it under a different name.
Night Killer.
Oh, I'm
Tubi's
happy
awesome.
that Tubi, the last couple of years, they have their own giallo and Italian horror section, which is like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Because you just add stuff to the list, you know, and you're like, oh,
we can find them easy now, Aaron.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, like I never saw Knife of Ice until probably 6 months ago, and I was like, oh my god, I never got a chance to watch it, and yeah, so Tubi's great, man. I fucking love Tubi.
No,
I want to jump back to James. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course.
So James, you had mentioned you were talking about just kind of going for a ride at this point, like your take on Suspiria. And honestly, the best way to describe it is an art piece. And I know, yes, people say that about cinema a lot, but the film is best taken as a folk tale, but also a visual art installation. And if not the whole film, unlike other films that have such intense killings, these are art performances. They're set up like art pieces, and it goes all into that dream world. You literally, so Dario Argento wrote most of his own movies. This was one of the first times he really worked with Daria Nicolodi. Many people, including Daria Nicolodi and Dario Argento, have confirmed that her grandmother told stories about when she was young and went to a school for young girls learning piano. These girls were between 11 and 13. There was a lot of talk about witches. And she shared this story down, and Daria Nicolodi shared it with Argento, and Argento was like, and that was the catalyst for the film. And the film in itself is deceptively simple because it's Suzy Bannion, comes from the United States. She has been accepted at this very prestigious German ballet school. She goes to the ballet school, but we are also given 20 minutes of a sonic visual assault before we even know what the movie is. So you get there, you follow her trials and tribulations within this particular dance studio, and there's so much. But this eventually leads to her, by knowing other girls who seem to be outside of the coven, that things aren't right. And so she becomes the hopeful victim to Helena Markos, which is the original witch for this building. And then it just goes in a fantasy land that is truly amazing. And yet again, this is important for a couple of reasons. Suspiria is definitely in the top 100 films you need to see. In my top 10, it also is the first time that truly you can say, well, that didn't make sense. There's a lot of people who joke about Dario Argento. And the thing is, most of Dario Argento's films are very linear. This film, Inferno, Phenomena, kind of created what was like Argento-esque. But this movie is exceedingly important, and I can't tell the listeners how much is, if you like horror and you haven't seen this, because I don't shame, but I'm like, put this up there. This is up there with Night of the Living Fucking Dead. Yes. You need to see this. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love the passion for that. I love it because it's like shit. It's making me want to watch more Italian films. Just from watching this movie, honestly, I'm thinking like I got to see more Italian films. And just from this conversation, some of the shit you guys told us from some of the other movies, I'm like, oh, I definitely got to check some shit out now. So,
I stopped counting at viewing 20 on this one. So,
Inferno.
This is
another
the
one.
ADHD part of my brain. So honestly, what I wanted to talk to you about, James, was you mentioned about how confusing it is. And I had this question is for
It is.
you two also. I think you probably will remember it better than me. So I remember experiencing Suspiria. I believe it was an old EMI cassette at a video store. Was the American release, which also, there were cuts for Italy, but there were 60 individual cuts that had to be done, which means like there's part of a scene that go, this is to this, to what? 60 cuts, a lot of it being large amounts of stuff. That is what we, at my age, consumed and first experienced what wasn't just not making sense. It was a brutalized film. And
Right.
a lot of
It was like a
Italian films are that
truncated
way,
version.
but it was amazing once you finally saw Argento's version of Suspiria. It was like this pop of like, oh, yeah. I miss those days. The internet doesn't make it. You have to like actually go to cons and get Video Watchdog and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Video Watchdog.
Tim is a mentor. I love Tim.
Very.
Tim Lucas is the publisher. Sorry,
See, I always want to meet Tim Lucas, man. Like his commentary on Blood and Black Lace is it's epic. I've probably listened to it like 20 times, man. Like I really want to talk to that guy. You know?
He helped me with my master's degree.
Wow.
Several other people did too, which we can talk about later. But Tim, I remember being 15 and meeting him and Donna at a convention, and they were physically selling the Video Watchdog book. I still have the signed copy.
Oh,
So
That's
it's
awesome.
so cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
That is awesome.
I love the fact that James has Blood Lake in the back because I wrote the porno Blood Lake, which is not that Blood Lake, and people always mistake them. Yeah, they're like, oh, the Blood Lake from 1987. I was like, I wish.
You know, yours is, I'm sure yours is 100 times better than this.
It's not. It's got people. It's got people in it who look like they got out of prison that morning.
Sir Sturdy loves Blood Lake.
Hey, that's fine.
This is not like
something
the
happens.
Brown script. So
it's just wrong on so many levels. I just can't stand it. I got paid for it when I was young. I was like 23, 24, something like that. And just excited to get paid for something. Like they literally called me and they were like, "Can you write a pornographic Friday the 13th / Poltergeist movie?" And I was like, I mean, I can.
If you
but it's not fun. Like you don't get to write the sex scenes. You're not allowed. You like when you get to the sex scene part, you basically write insert commercial scene here. So I wrote like a 40-page script.
Still cool.
Yeah.
But yes,
which actually is very, very connected to Italy's love for cinema, to the point that people like Joe D'Amato and things like that.
There it is.
Hardcore porn in a horror movie.
Joe D'Amato was a talented
hardcore
filmmaker,
porn.
but like Jess Franco, he had to work all the time. So that meant, oh, well, do I have to put, I'll direct, I'll edit, I'll do all this because I just need to do it. You just don't put this name on it. Don't put Aristide Mazzocchese, but put as much TNA and whatever as you want. So.
Well,
I mean, if you
there
love
was a
working,
There was a Joe D'Amato movie on YouTube, and I was like flipping through the things, and I was like, "Oh, Passion's Flower." I was like, "I know this movie," and then I'm watching it, and I'm like, "Why would anybody put this on YouTube and edit out all of the sex scenes? This is a terrible movie without the sex scenes."
Well, yeah.
It's like, what kind of Joe D'Amato bullshit is this?
That's funny.
Here you go.
Would it make it a 15-minute movie?
Yeah, it was really short. Yeah,
like 35 minutes.
Like 35, like a 35-minute like drama, right? You know.
Taking all the good stuff. I'll take out.
So, Sir Sturdy, you've never seen. So you've never seen Inferno, which is the second one, and you've never seen.
I never seen it either.
Oh. I've heard of Inferno. I never heard of Tenebrae. Nope.
Okay, good. So.
Yeah, Mother of Tears. From what I've heard, I'm supposed to avoid it. I haven't seen it.
I would like to revisit it. I watched it once, and I will say it was one of the better Argentos in a long time. But
Well, what did you think of Opera? Opera is the very
oh
first
my
Jello
god!
that I ever saw.
Yeah, Opera's good.
Oh, here we go.
You got starting. You got starting.
Yeah, something.
Where's my?
Oh, I know.
He just spun his chair around the other side and found it right away like that. Look at that.
Okay. So yet again, this was a bonding film for my best friend and I, Eric, and it was amazing in the cinematography rate. But when the killer places nails or whatever pins on tape under a person's eyes while they're tied up, it makes them watch a killing.
It's so good.
Oh man.
What's that
And
again?
it's set
What's that
to
called?
like, and it's set to like metal
Opera.
music.
Opera.
It's amazing. I love
Macbeth.
opera.
They're doing Macbeth. It's a World War II-esque version of Macbeth. So it's just, yeah, I this is the last one I really loved. So
Oh wow. See.
Wow.
All right. You know what?
sorry,
I got.
we've been unruly sturdy. I apologize.
No. I got a question for you three because you three know a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
It's all right. You're going to an island. You can only take 3 Italian films with you.
Oh.
Which three are
Italian
you
horror or Italian films?
Let's just say let's say Italian horror. 3
Okay,
Italian
good.
horror films. Only 3 that you can take with you.
Okay. I'm going to you. Really? I can name your 3.
I know you can.
That's how much I love you.
See, that's love right there. Let me just get to the comments real
Black
quick.
Lace,
Good
Yep.
scene snob.
Bird with the Crystal Plumage,
How's it going, Joe?
and
Zombie. You wouldn't take zombie?
Can you say those again, Slinky? I'm sorry.
I like zombie, but I don't know if I take it. Blood and Black Lace, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and Zombie.
Okay.
Zombie fights a shark. Come on.
Mine are the most ridiculous, like basic bitch Italian horror. Like I'm just getting it out there.
If I'm on the island with you, I know I got torso.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing. So I would say mine would be Tenebrae, Opera, and I would honestly I would bring Night Killer just because it's hella entertaining.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see it.
Okay. And how about
But
you,
I'm sure
Trevor?
Trevor's are gonna be like,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a story. Do I get to cheat and put in something that might be multiple films, or do you just want 3?
Put that as your like extra one at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Okay, there are so many, but I have to say Lucio Fulci's Gothic trilogy.
Ooh.
So
House by the Cemetery.
House
City
by
of Living
House
Dead
by the
Beyond
Cemetery.
and House by the Cemetery.
The Beyond. Okay.
Yeah.
That
13
I
Doors
think
of
is
Death.
a perfect trilogy and is him at his height. So yeah.
Honorable mention: The Church, or
Salavi.
or Stage Fright.
Yeah, Stage Fright.
Also by Michael Salavi. Stage Fright is a great giallo, but yet again, it's also in that proto slasher thing.
Yeah, no, it's
when giallo meets cocaine.
very
It's
yeah,
when giallo
no,
meets
it's
cocaine,
it's
so.
kind of giallo adjacent, if you will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was directed by the guy who basically literally was, I'll do anything for you as long as I can do for you in Italian horror, and that's Michele Soavi.
Oh,
He
Soavi.
worked with everybody. Yeah. You need a guy to be dead? Yeah. You need a guy to ride a motorcycle? Yeah. You need a guy to actually edit your film?
I'll be your cop.
Yeah.
You want to die in demons? Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, man. I really got to dig down this Italian horror.
You can
movie
tell we
guy.
like Italian horror movies a little bit.
Yeah. I
didn't expect to be with people that I could just geek out completely. So I apologize if the show is
great.
All over the place.
I'm loving this because usually he's teaching us stuff, but now he's just like, I don't have to be the teacher tonight.
This is fun.
I'm
so glad we did this.
I love it. I freaking love because I learned so much when I have someone coming on that's more knowledgeable about film, and now it's again. Now I'm gonna have to go on this journey of watching a bunch of these giallos and
just go to Tubi.
Yeah, I mean that's one of
the
the greatest things about Tubi is it is a huge list of all different horror directors and it's just it's great, man, and it's fucking free. And, Tubi better than babies.
I was just gonna say that Tubi is more popular than babies.
Yeah, and I mean shit. Like you said,
it
has its own. Not only is it horror, but it has its own set, like broken down to its own subgenre.
Yeah,
so it's easier to find.
80s horror, 70s horror,
so
obscure,
cool, dude.
cult classics. Like Tubi's where it's at.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna start messaging you, Slinky. Like, yo, did you see this? What do you think about this one? Did you see this? Yes, 30. I see this about 35 years ago. Grow up.
35 years ago. 40. Careful.
Yeah. What's the Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
Ooh, is a good one. All the Colors of the Dark.
Oh, that is Martino's masterpiece.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I can't freaking wait. I can't wait because it's just more horror to watch.
And the death scenes are just. To use the word that Trevor used, the death scenes really are art pieces. Like Bird with the Crystal Plumage, for instance, has one of the most beautiful, interesting, fascinating death scenes in it. Tenebrae has amazing fucking death scenes in it. I mean, and then the music and dude. Yeah.
We haven't even touched that is such an integral part of Argento, but this movie, I mean, Sturdy or James, either way, what do you guys think of the music? Do you think that helped the film? What?
I do feel like the music did help the film. I do feel like it fit with the film, but there was just something about that lighting that just kind of almost in a weird way toned the music out for me, or like kind of turned it down more, and really because I love lighting. I love like this stuff I've been obsessed with like lights and different colored lights since because of Christmas trees probably, but since a little kid. So anytime I see like different color lighting, especially in film, I'm just obsessed. And then the scenery wrapped around it with like anytime I was noticing, anytime it was like blue, it was more of like a fear feeling and more silent. And you're like, oh, something's about to pop off. I'm just like, okay, you're just ready. And the cool thing about it though is you see that across, like with that blue, you see that across in a lot of different subgenres of horror. And I'm just like, oh shit. So is this where it came from?
But like atmosphere is so important in horror.
Calmness.
Yeah. Slink has the Bava thing, the angel in the what is it?
Angel in the Wreckage. Tim Lucas talks about this. The thing Bava used to do in his movies. He would show a scene of just grotesque violence or just over the top, just awfulness, and then he would pan the camera to like the statue of a cherub, and he would call it the Angel in the Wreckage. And I think a lot of times in Suspiria, the music. This is just my opinion on this. The music from the Goblins in this one, the Goblins as opposed to Goblin, with what you're seeing the reds and the blues and there's greens in the beginning when she leaves the airport and she's on her way to the school, when she goes through the woods like a fairy tale, because it even begins with a narration. The music aside, you take the music away and what you're seeing is very disorienting. It's confusing. You don't know what the fuck you're seeing. You're just seeing like a splash of color. It looks like a moving painting, which is what I said about Blood and Black Lace. But the final nail in the coffin for me with Suspiria is the fucking music. The music is what clinches your disorientation. The music is what pushes you over the fucking edge into the barbed wire, I think.
Yeah.
The music is what really spins this fucking dream out of control. The sound design is bonkers in this fucking movie. When Dario Argento crashes through the window with his Hulk hand on and chokes that chick, it's scary as fuck. And he put it together with $1.50. But the music is what fucking it puts the noose on the corpse before you chuck it over the bridge, is what I'm saying.
I love him so much.
But Goblin fucking delivers, bro, on every level. And to me, that's what seals the deal with Suspiria is the music. They tell you what the fuck it's about in the song. The first 2 minutes of the movie. Witch, So you're
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
oh
This
shit!
film is also,
And then there's the high vocals, on it's layered so intricately and beautifully that it's like the music is what scares me the most in the movie. Not the cackling chick with the knife coming out of the closet.
That scares me.
It's pretty scary, but it's that fucking disorienting sound, because if you watch it in surround sound or anything, that music, when it starts swirling, it swirls around the fucking room, and it's like, it's awesome, man. That's my absolute favorite part about Suspiria, I think, is the Goblin's soundtrack.
Well, you point out another reason why this movie is so important. Now, it wasn't the first time that he had worked with Simonetti, who Caio Simonetti was the head of Goblin. He worked with them at least before on Deep Red, and it's a beautiful, beautiful collaboration. But this movie and the success of this movie, because this movie did really, really well in Italy, which is not common for a horror film. I hate to tell you guys, but it makes
that's why they used to export into the States and all over, so they could turn a profit. Absolutely.
Goblin's score to this film made such, I mean, there were other composers, but especially with this and Goblin's alternate score to Dawn of the Dead, it took the Morricone recipe and changed it. Like somewhere there was like Tangerine Dream in the center, and it was like Morricone and an after Morricone, and this movie was that for Goblin.
Yeah, absolutely. They kind of,
and they are a rock band. Yeah.
They go on tour. Like a buddy of mine, he's actually was fortunate enough to see him live. He played a killer. There's a movie he's the killer in, which is a Giallo homage called Bloody Ballet. And he loves Deep Red, loves the shit out of Deep Red. He plays the killer in that movie. And he was, I got to see him, I think, twice. And when he was talking to us, he pulled his records out and all this stuff. And it was funny to see a killer in a Giallo movie geek out over Goblin. It was pretty neat. But gone, totally gone.
That's okay.
My old man brain.
It'll come back, baby.
No, the sound design is fucking perfection in that movie.
Oh yeah,
those guys kill it. But be here all week.
Try the veal.
Try the veal
again. It's. I miss this, Slinky. Just your excitement for this specific subgenre of film and these foreign films here, the Italian films, because every fucking time you're super excited. I don't care what one it is, you're super excited when we do them. And god damn,
I remember when I got like this when I did the Night of the Living Dead 90 on your show. I was like, see this jar of rocks? These are my rocks. They're from the cemetery, man. Like, I got all trolly on him, man. It was funny. I get excited, man. Slashers, Italians, and zombies, fucking all day. Take my money, please.
I want to go back to you talk about Mario Bava. You can't talk about Italian cinema without bringing up the name Mario Bava. To the point that this was the guy who ended up basically making some of the best films of the person who made the first Italian horror film, Riccardo Freda. Now, it's important with Argento to understand that Argento was a protege of Mario Bava. So the look of Mario Bava films, which is very similar to Suspiria, was a direct connection. Bava actually worked on Inferno with Argento, which is truly amazing and awesome and everything. It's a great film.
He had to work on it because Argento got hepatitis. And couldn't finish.
The typical Bava thing. You
couldn't direct.
No, Mario, I need help. Okay.
Yeah.
You just have to say, don't send your son. So
now, speaking of Bava, how do you like? Are you a fan of Hatchet for the Honeymoon?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because there's people that they don't like it at all. I love it because,
and I still haven't seen it.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I'm honestly, if it really came down to it, if I had to pick a Mario Bava film that I just could revisit again and again, besides Black Sunday, would be Hercules in the Haunted World. Which is a beautiful example of the saturated colors that are very important in Italian horror.
Yeah, that's where he developed his moving painting, as I call it, his hallmark.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And but yeah, no.
But Bava was also part of it. The Italian film system is also important to understand that, because it's kind of similar to the Japanese one, in which good things happen to you if you put in the time and you do all this stuff and you get to assistant director, and then we'll hand you one. Very similar, actually even more, and also even more nepotistic. But it's very important. And you look at Italian horror, and it's like a web diagram of bands from the Seattle area in the 90s. Everybody has worked with somebody, and literally it's only like 1, 2. It's like a 2 degrees of Mario Bava. So
yeah, no, that's wild. Exactly. It's a Kevin Bacon situation.
Yes, it's a Kevin Bacon situation.
Exactly. Except you can like 2 degrees of Mario Bava. So.
I'm gonna.
What did you guys all
get
rate?
Our charger.
Yeah, so well,
James,
so
what'd you give Suspiria?
Yeah, what's everybody's rating?
All right, I'm going to give this. Now that I know so much more about it, I'm going to bump it up from my original score.
Oh, look at that!
I'm going to give it I was going to give it a 7, but I'm giving it 8 now, because now I know the deeper meanings and everything of it. And that's I'm awesome. Like, damn, I'm so impressed by it now. So, yeah, I'll give it an 8.
I'm going to go with a 7 with this one. I did bump it up too, just honestly, same reason as you. And it's making me want to see more of these giallos, more of these Italian horror films, just because, again, I mean, as far as when it comes to horror, I want to see anything and everything. I want to get my, that I can. So this is just another route that I'm learning more about, and why the fuck not? But how about you, Trevor? What's your rating? Good, sir.
Yeah, 10. I want to know what Trevor's first. Like, it's like, how did you get into Italian horror? Like, what was your first giallo, actually, or jolly? And how old were you?
I didn't actually I was into film from as long as I can remember, but I really didn't get into horror until I was a teenager, and a best friend and I just started like doing all the mom and pop videos. I think the first one that really spoke to me was Profondo Rosso, Deep Red.
Deep Red.
That was the first time that I'm like, this is different. This is unlike anything I've ever seen. So I think my first love affair was Profondo Rosso.
So I saw opera when I was probably 11, and I reenacted it with all my Barbies.
Okay.
I took my Barbies and took knitting or the little sewing needles, right? Sewing needles, and then put them under with the tape, and then put them in eyes, and then put them in the Barbie dining room chair set that came with my Barbie dream house, and just was like, I'm gonna reenact this, and it's like, I should talk to a therapist.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome, though. Can you imagine walking on your kids doing that? Though, like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell were you watching with Uncle Slinky?
Because there's a thing about Deep Red that I can't even mention, because Sir Sturdy, have you seen it?
You
know it if you.
I'm not sure.
You would know it.
I'll say no.
Okay, I think Trevor would probably know what I'm talking about when the main guy's walking through the hallway in the building in the very beginning. Okay. That's one of the reasons I love Deep Red so much, is because they literally right there if you catch it. And so I love that he did that in that movie, and I had to watch it.
Not to give away.
That's I'm trying to tiptoe around it because I don't want to.
A lot of Dario Argento.
He might say what I
was very cultured and is a very cultured person, and artistic references and things like that are definite in his work. It is no question. I said to her last night,
the things laying on the floor in certain scenes of the movie, I'm like, that's a sign for witch. I'm like, that's
occultism is all over the place in his films, but
Mm-hmm.
specifically art. I mean, if you go back as far as, art is potentially what starts everything really crazy going in Bird and a Crystal Plumage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's art gallery.
Everything
Oh,
in
yeah,
his films has references to art. I mean, you can go up to a good film called Sandal Syndrome, which is all about art.
Yeah. Suzy
So
Bannion.
that's very, very important in Dario Argento's work, is a love for the high arts.
And a love for cats, because painters apparently eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's interesting because, I mean, to say about, you know, Argento is schooled in his work. He was obsessive about Fritz Lang. So Fritz Lang's work is so evident in Suspiria. But he was, I mean, this movie working with, things were good between him and Dario Nicolodi. There was Dario Argento, his daughter.
Asia.
Asia was on the set almost all the time. It was, so he was able to get two biggies in the world of Fritz Lang to be in this film. And the one is Joan Bennett. Joan Bennett, best known for Dark Shadows, was Madame Blanc, the head of the school. She had starred in Fritz Lang's Scarlet Street, and also a film that he did, if I can remember off the top of my head, A Woman in the Window. So there was that. Then the famous, like, Alida Valle, who plays Vistana, is like a legend in just Italian film. But she was married to Fritz Lang. So
that chart.
That makes a lot of
sense. Boy, does that chart.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So it was, to me, I thought it was funny, so I decided to share it. So.
I got to talk to Barbara Magnafoli a couple of times. That was kind of cool.
Ooh.
She was supposed to come on the show, but she has a fee and we couldn't pay it.
She's supposed to be
really
cool.
Out. But what a sweetheart. You know?
Yeah.
That's why
she has a great, I mean, over the top performance.
Oh yeah, the
with the long
so
cigarette.
It's
just how they are here.
Yeah, the penguin cigarette filter. Yeah. So, and then
what you're rating for this one, Slinky?
I'm gonna give Suspiria 8 goopy maggots.
I will give Suspiria.
Nobody's talked about maggots.
They don't have decent corpse disposal, like you were saying.
Yes, I said you would think that a coven of witches would have a much more advanced storage system for just corpses,
cadavers.
Well, it wasn't corpses. It was literally
rotted food.
Rotted food.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure there was.
It's in the script.
More than a few. Fleshy.
There had to be a body in there somewhere.
So I'm going with I will say probably I'll give it an 8.5 because of just the visually. It's just so visually stunning. You know, it's just such a beautiful, wonderful movie. I just I'm a jolly girl at heart. So like I'm a, you know, I like the being stalked with a straight razor, black gloves type thing. So like Tenebrae is that's my movie. Opera is my movie, right? But you can't, obviously you can never ever discount just the art piece and just how absolutely stunningly beautiful Suspiria is. So yes, my score is definitely an 8.5. I guess 8.5 straight razors.
There you go. I have to retract my goopy maggots to 8 pieces of broken stained glass.
Oh, that was good, babe.
Now you just need to put an animal in that, and you have a giallo name.
There we go.
There you go.
That's what I mean, you know.
Trevor, what was your score?
Glass web of the spider.
Trevor gave it a 10.
Oh, he did give it a 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course, Trevor's giving it a 10.
Absolutely.
It's the Citizen Kane of Italian horror.
And we bow.
Well, yeah, that's arguable, but contemporary Italian horror.
All right, I got a question for you. So they did a remake of this. Did anybody watch it?
Never seen it.
I haven't.
I know it. Okay. I know it. It's on the good side of like 3 hours. So I really
anything with Tilda Swinton, I'm like,
I have
But-
to. I have to really want it. So-
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't want to be angry at a remake that is honestly trying to do something different, so I haven't watched it.
Mhm.
All right.
I'll give you that. I'll definitely give you that.
I'll watch it.
I thought because you guys love this
I'll
so
get to
much
that
that you'll go
12th
watch
step
it just
of
to
being able to
see
watch it at
how
some
I've
mu-
point.
seen it.
how bad they did.
Oh, you've seen it,
I
babe?
told you I saw it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You have seen it.
If you named it something else, great flick.
Oh.
That's all I'm
one
gonna
of
say.
those.
It's
One
bonkers.
of
It's
those.
Italian horror. It's wild as fuck. It's the same, story essentially. But again, I just think they should have just called it something else. Like,
And it's
Okay.
but it's wild as fuck, man.
it's
Like there's
Dakota Johnson.
yeah, it's what's her face, Jenna, or is it? It's the chick from X or whatever.
Oh, Mia Goth.
yeah, it's her. She's in it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's some magic that's wild as fuck when you're watching it. It's pretty cool. So if you can just separate it from the original, and that's the thing, I don't have a problem when people remake movies and shit because they're like, oh, it's gonna ruin the original. Is it? Because
No.
it's
You still
not.
have the original.
You still have the original. There's no.
Yeah, it's true.
George Lucas didn't cut scenes into the original, so it's.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you
my
want to see a
only
fucked up horror movie that's wild as shit, check it out. But it's long.
My
as
only
it's
fear with
way long,
remakes,
you know.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No.
my only fear with remakes is over time, does that mean the originals eventually fall off? And that again is why it's so important. Parents, fans, friends, and stuff like that share these things. And, because at some point, you don't want, but like this is why this is behind me, because I don't want somebody to say the license to this cannibal film no longer exists. You can't watch it. I want to be able to watch it in a solid state, as close to the way the filmmakers want it, on my terms.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's why I had a pretty good physical media collection. But
Mhm.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but it sucks because it's something tangible that you can lose.
Yep.
I hate to say it that way because I had thousands of VHS tapes, thousands and thousands of DVDs, but I totally agree with you though.
He met the wrong woman.
It doesn't matter. You don't take somebody's fucking cat. Like you just don't. But I agree with you because there's movies that like the Poughkeepsie tapes. I had that on a rough cut for years and they wouldn't release it. And it was cool just knowing I had it. I was like, I got that on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then like the last broadcast, the found footage flick about the Jersey Devil. I couldn't find that forever. I found it in a pawn shop for $1.
Excellent film.
And I love that movie. I'm from Jersey, so I'm that special place in my heart. And but yeah, just being able to find it, I was so happy because they never show it on TV. The edition that they put out for it years ago is like wildly expensive. So it's like, it's I totally agree with you on that. Totally agree.
Yeah, and the Poughkeepsie tapes is Poughkeepsie's near us. Me and Aaron.
I know.
Yeah, about
Upstate New
an
York.
hour
You
and
should
a half.
watch it. That movie's fucked up.
It is.
It
awesome.
is.
It's
I like
good.
it.
It's wild, man. I think you'll dig
Yeah,
it.
it's wild.
So if you like found footage, it's cool.
I love found footage. That's why I
fucking love
watched it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh
Because
shit.
you watched that Bigfoot movie I told you about, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
we
a wild
reviewed
little
it. I
fucker,
think
man.
we
Was
never,
it
I believe we reviewed it. Exists, right?
Exists. Yeah.
yeah.
The guy who made the
that's
Blair
it.
Witch learned his lesson apparently from all the bitching from people. They're like, you didn't show the witch. And he's like, you want to see the fucking Bigfoot? Here's the Bigfoot. So he
Yeah.
he put the Bigfoot up your ass, essentially, throwing bites at
that
torches
movie
and
is-
shit. It
That
was
movie is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
I've got to give a plug for Italy again.
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust is the mother of all found footage films.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
I mean, you can go before that, but as far as, you want to see what is honestly the first definable
No,
found footage,
yeah,
it's Cannibal
well aware.
Holocaust.
And it's
I
it's,
watched that. I'm weird.
It's more
those
for the
movies don't
listeners than
bother
anything.
me.
It's like, you like found
I'll watch
footage,
those.
you need to see it.
boo, boo, that weird noise when they're eating the piece. Boo, boo,
Yeah.
boo.
And the beautiful opening music that sounds like
The
something
music
out
is
of like
so
a
misdirecting. It's not
National
even
Geographic
funny. Oh.
special.
Wow,
Da, 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 da.
It's so pretty. Our destroyed version of it, but like
Mhm.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's that movie's a dirty, underhanded sucker punch. That's essentially what that movie is. Like
dirty, underhanded sucker punch.
Sucker
That
punch.
is a
Sucker punch
that is a
movie.
crazy fucking movie. If you have never seen
Yeah,
that,
man, for real. So
and,
I'd say
like
to watch.
That's the type of movie.
Yeah.
You can't really recommend to just anybody just because they're horror fans. Like that's a different type of like.
You can't go to bingo at Granny and be like Cannibal Holocaust, Dorothy, check it out.
No, I for those type of films, you have to be like, listen, read about it, watch the trailer. If you're okay by it, read about it again. Then go ahead.
That's a different level of horror.
Yeah. Like if reading about
somebody
it,
tells you Torso is their favorite movie.
Yeah, those are the guys.
I mean, little story. And I'm sorry to because it's getting long, but to give you an idea of me and movies. So I remember one Christmas getting a DVD player, and this I didn't really use it for a year. I was hyper focused on researching film and music all the time. My father was going to Vegas. There was a huge Tower Records. He's like, "Oh, I bet I can find, give me 3." I forget what the third one was, but on the list were D.W. Griffith's Intolerance and Pier Paolo Pasolini's 120 Days of Sodom, which he actually scored.
Son of a bitch.
I was like 15. I was like 15, and I scored the original Criterion that got pulled.
Oh God!
That paid for part of my not a huge amount, but it paid for books for all of my grad work. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Damn.
That's pretty cool, man.
Random stupid stories.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking awesome. Holy sh!
I'm in a zombie movie called Alien Toxic Zombie Babes from Outer Space.
Awesome.
That's my highbrow shit.
Well, how the fuck can we watch it?
It's on YouTube. It's on my channel.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Send me that link.
It's the guy David Black made it during the pandemic, and he had everybody film their scenes, and he edited it together. So it's 2 hours and change, but it's a fucking it's wild to hell to watch. But yeah, I'm in there saying the lines from Dawn of the Dead that the guy says to the other guy in the movie. He's like, "Quit filling these people's heads with your bullshit," But I changed it up, and I'm like, "Quit saying your feminist bullshit." And it's fun, man. It's fun. So yeah.
Something my papa used to say.
Yeah. It's my highbrow shit.
Voodoo.
Just to have some fun.
I wrote a stupid porno.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Are we doing shameless plugs? Is it time?
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
I'm writing your stuff. Both of you guys stuff down.
Plug away. You guys kick it off.
I have a podcast called Manic Movie Monday, and every Monday at midnight we drop an episode. It's me and my partner Hillary, and our whole thing is we celebrate the under-celebrated. So we're like the Ted Lasso of B and cult film podcasts. We're very positive. We always find the positive and the joy and things that a lot of people wouldn't normally find. So examples of that would be Jaws 3, Grease 2.
I like Grease 2.
Slaughter High.
Different stuff. Inferno, Slaughter High, Pieces,
Hercules.
And we do lots of really, we kind of like vary it a little bit. We just did The Last Shift. We posted that and we absolutely loved it. Hillary had told me it was like the only movie that ever really scared her. So I was like, oh, I'm in, and then I was like, checking the drapes, like
that movie's
good. Loved it. Absolutely freaking loved it. We also did Spellbinder from the 80s. And
Witchboard.
We did Witchboard. We did do Witchboard. You're right. We did do Witchboard.
That had sequels.
I was there for it. Yeah. I get to hear him live and for free. So
he sits in the living room
and just chuckle
while Hillary and I go in there every Saturday at 9 a.m. and we record. And then he gets to hear like because he'll hear laughter because there's a lot of laughter in the episodes. And then he'll get to listen to like the finished product later. So,
awesome.
And then Jello Shots will be dropping probably October, in time for Halloween, I would say. And that's going to be a I'm looking for guests. But yeah, that's going to be a thing where I just celebrate my love of Giallo movies. So that's it. That's all.
Now,
For
Slinky.
Well, Trevor's your
Obviously,
ultimate
I'm on
guest right there.
Instagram,
You'll have
Spotify,
you'll
any of that kind of stuff.
you'll have a 5-hour podcast with Trevor on it.
Yes, you.
Once upon a time, I used to do a channel called Slinky's Liquor, Fun, and Video, and
I remember.
I just stepped away. So, but the channel is still on YouTube. If you would ever be so inclined to go check it out, it's we're on the sketchier side of town. Slinky's Liquor, Fun, and Video. We talk about everything. We have fan commentaries.
Amazing Black Christmas episode.
Yes.
By the way, lots of interviews.
Yeah, we talked to some people. We talked to Nathan Basil.
Nathan Basil from Behind the Mask.
Adam Marcus on the regular.
Adam Marcus, because he's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes of him on there. So yeah,
nice.
Craig Aarons, a lot of people.
Totally worth checking out.
Yeah. So.
After the episode, ask me about Bob Clark.
Oh,
I just need to make sure because of my ADHD. So
okay, because I did an episode on the Porky's trilogy.
Yeah.
So
Porky's, good movie.
Porky. Oh, that was such a fun one.
Beautiful
Okay,
deep
so
dive. So okay,
That was
go.
a fun one.
Okay, just really quick story about Bob Clark that not a lot of people know is that before he and his son were killed in an auto accident, he was working on actually redoing Children Don't Play with Dead Things, which is his final film. Now, remember, when I say Bob Clark, we're talking about Mr. Porky's, and we're also talking about Mr. A Christmas Story.
Oh,
but he did direct the quintessential slasher. Now, a lot of people say Halloween, but this has to be put in the
Black
same
Christmas.
sentence.
I can tell you a story about that.
Black Christmas.
Is
Black Christmas.
the beginning.
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
Black Christmas all damn day.
So they were going to remake this, and it was going to be a comedy and a musical. It was bittersweet because he was just lovely. And I interviewed him for my master's. And it wasn't long. It was like 6 months after when I heard the news. And I was like, ugh. So yeah. Talk about somebody who could wear many, many different hats
and make wonderful films in different genres and do it very well, and just
he was a true auteur.
just an amazing person. In fact, my boyfriend is currently wearing a popcorn shirt, and Bob Clark pretty much kind of ghost directed that with Mark Harrier, who, by the way, was in Porky's.
I like that one.
We were supposed to go to Tampa Bay Screams last month and meet Seth Scolari, who played Orville in Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. But due to my health, we couldn't go, unfortunately. But my amazing muse, my inspiration for everything, she had a friend of ours have a poster or whatever signed by Seth for me, because I'm like the only person in the state of Florida that loves that movie, which was shot in the state of Florida. So that was very sweet. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I will stop.
Trevor, you want to tell me?
Razor, I promise.
So my website is ambassadorradio.org. You can follow all my socials there. It's going through a lot of changes. Hopefully these changes might take effect sometime in early 2025. I've been doing radio in some level for about 25 years. The show's basic concept is the B-side of music history. But I mean, really the B-side. Like, we're talking about stuff that in the world of copyright, even though this stuff is so important and so amazing and so many different genres, the man doesn't count it as like copyrightable.
You can't make a
they
video
don't care. So everything from, music from like the Zamrock movement in Zambia, to literally underground punk, to noise experiments. It's just all going to be things you're probably not going to have heard before. And you want to know why? I approach each show wanting to know stuff I don't. So so you can, but the future might include a horror show. I'm not sure yet. So
very cool.
Oh
very
my
cool.
God, Trevor, if you do it, oh my God, go for it. Just do it. I know you're already thinking about it. I already have about 4 million intricate ideas that you want to do with it.
That's
It's
called
gonna be all.
neurodivergence,
It's gonna
yeah.
be all the weird
which is
horror
yeah,
too.
which is called
Even
neurodivergence.
better.
Yes.
It's the end of this show. I will forget, and then while doing something utterly crazy like eating, I'll go, "Oh yeah."
Yep. Yeah, write
Aaron
that shit
gets me.
down.
Yeah.
I keep a
I get it.
notebook
I get it.
by me because I have to, because
Mhm.
otherwise I will forget. It's gone. I will forget it. I'll have like an idea about something and it's gone. So
I've honestly like when I
Sturdy
think
and
of stuff,
James
been
can
getting-
attest to usually at one time during the
Yes.
podcast, I will talk and then go,
Yep. You're like,
"What was I
I'll get
talking
back
about?"
to you. Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Well, we'll let you know though, because we want to hear the rest of the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say I've been using I'll use my phone just to take it. Like, oh shit, let me write that down because I know I'm gonna forget by the time I get home or wherever I'm at or find a fucking pen.
if you
Anything.
guys are on social media like Facebook
Yes.
or whatever, feel free
Yes.
to add me as a Facebook friend. I am Erin Dawn Gilmer.
Same here, guys. Yeah.
Go right ahead. And I have Manic Movie Monday has its own Instagram, and we post movie posters and horror memes and all that kind of
Awesome.
stuff too. So
Nice. But before we go, I'll let you guys know actually what we're coming up this weekend over on Popcorn and Pints. We're going to be reviewing it's Stallone versus Schwarzenegger. So we're doing Red Heat versus Nighthawk. Never seen either one, but we're going to
Nighthawk is
Oh
awesome.
man! Oh, never seen
80s
that.
action
Ooh.
and have a good time with that.
Yeah,
And
Red
I
Heat's a
can't
lot of
wait.
fun. So is Nighthawk.
Nighthawk
wait,
is a
but-
masterpiece.
Mhm.
That is over on Popcorn and Pints.
I
so
never
check
heard
out.
of it.
I've never seen either.
What? Which one?
Rutger Hauer.
Nighthawk.
Oh yeah, Red Heat's
Yeah.
good.
I've heard of them. I've just
Oh,
never
Red
seen
Heat is like it's a double bill with Red Dawn. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so
The
Wolverine!
Ruskies are coming.
Wolverine.
The Ruskies are coming. Yeah, absolutely.
Sturdy is up there going, "I'm never doing this again."
That's a
No, I am. I love this shit.
No, those
Again,
are
I
two
love
great fucking 80s action flicks. You're gonna love them. Like those
Yeah.
are.
Oh, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And the thing I know there's gonna be explosions. There's gonna be a bunch of bullshit going on, but
The fucking video box explodes on those movies. So yeah. Right.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
But it's not a Michael Boom Boom Bay movie. So calm down.
Either way, I just hope it's a good time. I just hope that they're both
You're
good
gonna like
times.
them, especially
it.
Virgin Eyes. Yeah, you're gonna dig them, man. You're gonna dig them. It's classic
They're both
Schwarzenegger and
excellent.
fucking, yeah, so it's good stuff.
So again, that's this Saturday, 9:00 Eastern time, over on Popcorn and Pints, which we do our lives every Saturday at 9, and then back over here, HorrorWithSirSturdy every Thursday at 8:00. And besides tomorrow, we're taking a little break, but every Friday at midnight, Sturdo Vision, which next week we're actually doing oh fuck, I forgot. Oh, Dawn. No,
No, it's Dusk to Dawn.
thank you.
Okay.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
I was like, oh, don't watch that. Watch that. Don't
yeah.
And gonna have an amazing time with that. And shit, tune in for that. So HorrorWithSirSturdy, Popcorn and Pints, and everything else. All the links are in the description. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for everybody here so you know when we're dropping shit. And with that said, I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.
Thanks.
die.
Watch more Italian.